The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets overhead as I shoved the last mop bucket into the corner, sweat trickling down my back from the humid air of the empty locker room. Jake slammed his locker shut with a metallic clang that echoed off the tiled walls, his broad shoulders tense, and without warning, he turned to me, his voice cracking like thunder. "Alex, I can't do this anymore. I think I'm in love with you." In that split second, the world tilted, the scent of chlorine and old leather suddenly choking me, because the boy I'd idolized for 4 years on the football team had just shattered every unspoken rule between us, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to run or pull him closer. It was a Friday afternoon in late September, the kind of crisp fall day in suburban Ohio where the leaves outside the stadium were turning that perfect shade of burnt orange, and the air hummed with the promise of Friday night lights. Eldridge High wasn't some powerhouse like those Ohio State feeders down south, but our team, the Eagles, had clawed our way to a decent 3-1 record early in the season. I was Alex Harper, junior quarterback, the kid everyone called Golden Boy, because I could thread a needle with a spiral from 40 yards out and still flash that all-American grin for the yearbook photos. Life was scripted. Practice, homework, dodge my parents' endless questions about college scouts. Repeat. Gay? Buried so deep I barely let myself think the word. It was easier that way in a town where faggot got tossed around like a casual high five. Jake Riley was my shadow on the field. Linebacker, all 6'2" of Irish fire and freckles, with eyes the color of Lake Erie on a stormy day. We'd been best friends since freshman year, when he transferred in from Cleveland and body-slammed me during a scrimmage just to welcome me. He was the one who dragged me to late-night diner runs after games, splitting greasy fries and laughing about coaches' profanity-laced pep talks. But lately, something had shifted. Stolen glances in the huddle, his hand lingering a beat too long on my shoulder pads. I chalked it up to bro stuff, the kind of unspoken bond that made us unbreakable. Until that moment in the locker room. We'd drawn cleanup duty as punishment for a sloppy practice, fumbled snaps and missed tackles that had Coach red-faced and spitting tobacco. The rest of the team had bolted for freedom, leaving us to scrub down the benches and wipe graffiti off the mirrors. Jake was humming some garbled version of a Foo Fighters tune, his voice low and gravelly, when he stopped mid-note and fixed me with that stare. The one that said he'd been carrying this bomb inside him for months. "Alex," he said again, stepping closer, his cleats squeaking on the damp floor. "Say something, please." My heart jackhammered against my ribs. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in like they did before a big hit. I wanted to laugh it off, punch his arm, call him crazy. But the truth clawed up my throat. I'd felt it too. Those dreams where his laugh echoed in my head, waking up tangled in sheets with his name on my lips. "Jake, shit, man. This isn't, we can't." He closed the gap, his calloused hand brushing my arm, and it was like static electricity, every nerve firing. "Why not? Because of them? The team? Your folks?" His voice dropped to a whisper, raw and pleading. "I've watched you light up that field, Alex. You're everything to me, and I know you feel it. Don't lie." I didn't lie, couldn't. Instead, I grabbed the front of his jersey and pulled him in, our foreheads touching, breaths mingling in the stale air. It wasn't a kiss. Not yet. But it was a confession, silent and seismic. We stood there, frozen, until the janitor's keys jingled down the hall, snapping us apart like guilty kids. "Meet me tonight," he murmured, slipping a crumpled note into my hand. "Behind the bleachers, after dark." I nodded, numb, and watched him grab his bag and jog out, leaving me alone with the echo of his words and the mop handle slick in my grip. That night, under the shadow of the rusted grandstands, with the distant hum of traffic on Route 42, we talked, really talked, about the fear gnawing at us both, the whispers in the showers, the Bible thumpers at youth group, the way our dads would look at us if they knew. Jake's family was Catholic old school, his pop a steel mill vet who quoted Reagan like scripture. Mine? Dad coached Pee Wee League, Mom baked for church potlucks. Perfection or bust. But in that hidden pocket of the world, with fireflies winking like conspirators, we kissed. It was clumsy, urgent, tasting of Gatorade and desperation. His lips were softer than I imagined, his hands steady on my waist as the universe narrowed to just us. "This is us now," he whispered against my neck. "No hiding." For a week, it was paradise wrapped in secrecy. Stolen moments in the equipment shed, texts coded like spy novels. "Meet at the Oak?" His thumb tracing circles on my palm during film study when no one was looking. On the field, we were electric. My passes slicing through defenses like they read our minds, his tackles ferocious, protective. The team noticed the vibe, slapping our backs with, "You two are locked in, bros." Little did they know. Then came the betrayal. It started small. A sidelong glance from Tommy Ruiz, our cocky wide receiver, during lunch. He'd always been the loudmouth, the one pranking rookies with itching powder in jockstraps. "Harper, Riley, you're like an old married couple lately," he joked one day in the cafeteria, loud enough for the table to erupt. Jake flushed crimson, stabbing his tater tots, while I forced a laugh that tasted like ash. But Tommy's eyes lingered, sharp as a switchblade. That Friday's game against Rivorton was a bloodbath. Mud-slick field under stadium lights, rain sheeting down like God's wrath. We were down 14-10 in the fourth, clock ticking like a bomb. I dropped back, scanned the field, and spotted Jake breaking through the line, a wall of green jerseys parting for him. The ball arced perfect, nestling into his hands for a 25-yard gain. Touchdown. The crowd roared, but as we mobbed in the end zone, Tommy hip-checked me harder than necessary, hissing under the cheers. "What's your deal, QB?" Moonlighting as his boyfriend. Ice water in my veins. I shoved him off, play-acting the roughhousing, but the seed was planted. By Monday, whispers slithered through the halls. "Heard Harper and Riley are. You know." Lockers slammed a little too hard. High-fives turned awkward. Coach pulled us aside after practice, his meaty paws on our shoulders. "Whatever bullshit rumors are flying, squash 'em. Focus on the field, boys. This team's family." Family. The word twisted like a knife. Jake cornered me in the parking lot that evening, rain still dripping from his hair. "It's nothing. Tommy's full of shit." But his eyes were haunted. The spark dimmed. We drove to our spot, a forgotten quarry off the interstate, water black as ink under the moon. There, wrapped in his hoodie, I confessed my terror. What if they find out? What if it ruins everything? He held me tighter, his voice fierce. "Then we fight. Together." That night, we made promises etched in starlight. No more hiding, not from each other. But the world doesn't bend easy. The unraveling hit warp speed mid-October. Homecoming week, Eldridge buzzing like a hive, float building, pep rallies, the whole Norman Rockwell nightmare. Jake and I volunteered for the bonfire setup, hauling logs under Coach's watchful eye. It was innocent enough, until Tommy sauntered up with his phone out, filming for the gram. "Smile, lovebirds," he crowed, zooming in as Jake's hand brushed mine accidentally. The clip went viral in our group chat by dinner, zoomed, captioned with eggplant emojis and winking faces. Laughter emojis flooded in, but I saw the undercurrent. Disgust, curiosity, judgment. Jake laughed it off publicly, posting a fire emoji and Brothers for Life face with tears of joy. But alone, he shattered. Curled on my bedroom floor after sneaking in through the window, tears carving tracks down his face. "They think it's a joke. We're a fucking punchline." I pulled him into my lap, rocking him like a child, murmuring nonsense about running away to San Francisco, where rainbows weren't punchlines. But inside, rage simmered. At Tommy, at the town, at myself for not being braver. The conflict peaked at the dance. Gymnasium decked in crepe paper and fairy lights, bass thumping through fogged windows. I went stag, Jake too, but we gravitated like magnets, dancing on the edge of the crowd to some overplayed pop remix. It felt defiant, alive, until Tommy cornered us by the punch bowl, drunk on spiked Kool-Aid and bravado. "Admit it, Riley. You two been bumping uglies since summer camp." The words slurred out, drawing stares. Jake's fist clenched, knuckles white. "Back off, Ruiz." Tommy didn't. He lunged, sloppy swing connecting with Jake's jaw. Chaos erupted, fists flying, chaperones shouting, me tackling Tommy to the mat before he could swing again. Security hauled us all to the office, parents summoned in the witching hour. My dad arrived first, face thunderous, gripping my arm like a vice. "What the hell, Alex? Fighting over? What? Some fairy tale bullshit." The word landed like a gut punch. Jake's mom wept in the corner, crossing herself, while his dad stared daggers. Coach mediated, spinning it as teen horseplay. But the damage was done. Suspended for a week, Tommy expelled from the team. And us? Labeled. The next day, graffiti bloomed on our lockers, "Queer QB" in Sharpie. Rainbows slashed with X's. Betrayal cut deepest from within. Jake's texts went cold, excuses piling up. Family dinner, church retreat. When he finally showed at the quarry, shadows bruised under his eyes, he wouldn't meet my gaze. "Dad knows, Alex. Found the note from that first night." My stomach dropped. "What did you say?" "Leet. Said it was a prank." He laughed, bitter. "But he doesn't buy it. Says I need prayer therapy. That you're poisoning me." The words eviscerated. Poison. After everything. "And you? You believe him?" He crumbled then, sobbing into my chest. "I don't know. God, I love you, but it's tearing me apart." We clung like shipwreck survivors, but the fracture was there, widening with every hushed prayer from his house, every disappointed glance from my parents. November brought frost and the playoffs. We qualified, a miracle on paper, but the field felt like a minefield. Teammates who once cheered now muttered. Passing routes gone tentative. Jake played like a ghost, solid but joyless, his hits lacking fire. I threw interceptions in practice, mind elsewhere. Off-field, isolation set in. Friends ghosted, invitations dried up. Even my little sister, Ellie, cornered me in the kitchen one night, her pigtails askew. "Is it true about you and Jake? Mom says it's a phase, but you look sad, Alex." I hugged her tight, throat burning. "It's complicated, kiddo, but uncomplicated love doesn't survive small-town scrutiny." The climax crashed down before the semifinals, a rivalry game against Central High under a sky bruised purple. Pre-game huddle, coach's speech droned. Unity, grit, blah, when Tommy burst from the shadows. Expelled but unbowed, he'd snuck into the stands, megaphone in hand, broadcasting to the crowd. "Eldridge Eagles got a secret. QB Harper's got a boyfriend. Riley's his bitch." Amplification turned whispers to roars, jeers raining down like confetti from hell. The whistle blew, but the game blurred. Tackles too late, passes wild. Jake took a blindside hit in the second quarter, crumpling like paper, helmet skidding across turf. I sprinted to him, world narrowing to his bloodied face, medics swarming. "Stay with me," I begged, cradling his head as sirens wailed distant. Concussion, they said later, but in that moment, as stretcher straps clicked, he gripped my hand, whispering, "Worth it, all of it." He sat out the rest of the season, benched for recovery. But really, the team imploded, losses piling like snowdrifts. I played robot, numb spirals finding receivers by muscle memory alone. Off the field, fallout snowballed. My dad confronted me over meatloaf, fork stabbing his plate. "Son, if this is who you are, we love you. But Jake? He's trouble. His folks are pulling him out, sending him to that military academy in Pennsylvania." The news hollowed me. Jake confirmed it days later, duffel at his feet in the quarry, moonlight silvering his tears. Dad's orders. Straighten me out. Betrayal? Not his, ours, by a world that demanded straight lines. "I love you," he choked. "Wait for me? Summer." I nodded, shattering. Our goodbye kiss was salt and farewell, lips bruised with what-ifs. He drove away at dawn, taillights fading like a bad dream. Winter gripped Eldridge, barren as my chest. I quit football, traded shoulder pads for sketchbooks in art class, drawing Jake's profile until pencils snapped. Therapy sessions with Mrs. Keller unpacked the wreckage. Grief, identity, the ache of first love lost to fear. Mom baked pies I couldn't eat. Dad tossed a football in the yard. silent invitations to heal. Ellie slipped me mixtapes labeled, "For the Broken Heart Guy," her empathy fierce. Spring thawed the ice, and with it letters from Jake, smuggled via a sympathetic cousin, scrawled on academy stationery. "They drill us like machines, but I dream of your laugh. Hold on." I wrote back, hiding pages in my mattress, words pouring like confessions. The empty bleachers where we'd first met, the quarry's echo. Graduation came in June haze, cap and gown stifling. I scanned the crowd for his face, heart leaping when he appeared. Uniform crisp, eyes defiant, slipping past his parents' glare to claim the seat beside me. "Couldn't miss it," he murmured, hand finding mine under robes. The principal droned names, but ours intertwined unspoken. After, under the oak by the field, our first spot, we stood awkward giants in a world remade. "I'm out," he said. "Told Dad everything." He punched a wall, cried, "But he's trying." "Yours." "Same. Awkward family dinners, but no more lies." Laughter bubbled, tentative, then free. His kiss was homecoming, soft under dappled shade, promising tomorrows. We didn't run to rainbows. Life isn't movies. Jake finished academy. I headed to Ohio State on a partial ride. Not for football, but poli-sci, chasing advocacy dreams. Summers bridged us, stolen weekends in Cleveland's dive bars. Hands laced in public parks where stairs slid off like rain. Betrayal's scar faded to lesson. Love demands courage, not perfection. Years on, in a tiny apartment overlooking the Cuyahoga, we toast anniversaries with cheap beer and takeout. He's a social worker now, pulling kids from shadows like ours. I'm drafting bills for queer youth protections in Columbus. The locker room? A relic, but its echo shaped us. Unexpected grace in the grind. Humanistic? Hell yes. Because in America's heartland, where cornfields whisper secrets, two boys learned that love isn't a battlefield one, but a bridge built, plank by plank, over chasms of fear. And on the other side, a horizon wide as hope. The summer after Jake left felt like breathing through a straw. Each day labored, the heat wave mocking my isolation with its relentless glare. Eldridge High loomed empty now, a ghost town of faded pep banners and chalk-dusted parking lots. But I haunted it anyway, jogging the track at dusk when the fireflies emerged like hesitant allies. Mom noticed the weight loss, the way I'd pick at her casseroles, her worry lines deepening like cracks in Ohio clay. "Alex, honey, talk to me," she'd say, stirring soup with that maternal rhythm, but words stuck like burrs. How do you explain a heart hollowed by a goodbye that tasted like rust? Dad tried tougher love, dragging me to the garage for man talks over oil changes on his old Ford. "Life's full of hits, son. You take 'em on the chin, get back in the game." Football metaphors, always. I nodded, wrench in hand, but inside, the game felt rigged, rules written by folks who'd never suited up for this. Ellie was my lifeline, though, her 10-year-old wisdom cutting through fog. She'd raid my sketchpad, adding cartoon mustaches to my Jake drawings, declaring, "He looks like a pirate. When's he coming back to bury the treasure?" Laughter cracked the ice, small but vital. Letters kept the ember alive. Jake's arrived bi-weekly, postmarked from that fortress in the Poconos, ink smudged from hasty scrawls under barracks lights. Reveille at 0500 kills the soul, but I run the obstacle course picturing your passes. Miss you like air. Mine flew back, filled with mundane lifelines. The county fair's demolition derby, where I cheered for the underdog truck that wouldn't die. Rainstorms pounding the tin roof, sinking with my pulse. We coded affections. Eagle 1, for me, shadow tackle for him. Innocent shields against prying postal eyes. But betrayal's shadow lingered. Tommy Ruiz vanished post-expulsion. Rumor mill churning he dropped out, joined a garage band in Akron or some such. Then, a late July Facebook tag. Him grinning in a dive bar photo, caption "Back in the game, bitches." Comments flooded. Old teammates chiming in. One from Ruiz. "Miss crushing skulls with ya." Eldridge was soft without the real men. No mention of us, but the subtext stung. A reminder of fractures left jagged. School started without fanfare. Senior year a blur of AP classes and college apps. I joined the GSA club on a whim, gay straight alliance whispered about like contraband. First meeting in the library's back corner, folding chairs scraping linoleum, 5 of us. Me, a goth girl named Riley with blue-streaked hair, twins from the drama club, and Mr. Hargrove, the soft-spoken English teacher sponsoring. "This space is yours," he said, eyes kind behind wire rims. No judgments. We shared war stories. Slurs scrawled on notebooks, crushes crushed by closets. Riley's tale of her first Pride March in Columbus hit home. I confessed the locker room, voice steady for the first time. Applause, hugs, community, fragile but fierce. Football tryouts loomed, but I skipped, trading turf for canvas in art elective. Coach cornered me in the hall, mustache twitching. "Harper, we need you. Rumors be damned. This team's hurting." Temptation tugged. The field was muscle memory, adrenaline's rush. But Jake's absence echoed there. Every snap a ghost. "I'm good, coach." Focusing on grades. He clapped my shoulder, gruff but genuine. "Proud of you, kid, whatever path." Fall deepened, leaves carpeting paths like confetti from a canceled parade. Jake's letters grew sparse. Academy drills intensifying, weekends locked down. Panic flickered when one arrived forwarded, postmark delayed. "They're watching mail now. Dad's visits are interrogations. Turn it around, son." "But I won't. You're my north." I wrote longer, desperate anchors. Dreams of road-tripping Route 66 post-graduation. Diner stops and motel neon our map. Homefront simmered. Mom found a letter once, tucked in my laundry, her gasp echoing from the dryer. Dinner that night was a minefield, forks clinking like countdowns. "Alex," she ventured, passing peas. "This Jake, is he why you've been so withdrawn?" Dad cleared his throat, avoiding eyes. Honesty surged. Raw. "Yeah, we care about each other. A lot." Silence stretched, then Mom's hand over mine. "Love's love, baby." "Scary, but true," Dad grunted. "As long as he treats you right." And that was it. No sermons, just tentative grace. Tears pricked, progress, inch by inch. Ellie, ever the instigator, staged a rescue mission. Backpack stuffed with candy and my sketches, declaring we'd hitchhike to Pennsylvania. We compromised on a care package, her gluing googly eyes on the box for spy camouflage. Shipping it felt ritualistic, a tether across miles. Halloween brought whimsy. A GSA haunted house fundraiser, cobwebs and cardboard gravestones in the gym. I volunteered as ghost quarterback, sheet-togged, tossing glow footballs to kids. Riley dressed as Frida Kahlo, unibrow fierce, and we swapped candy between scares, her laugh a bomb. "You're glowing tonight, Alex," she teased. "Love does that, even absent." Later, under jack-o'-lantern grins, phone buzzed. "Jake?" Voice call from a smuggled burner. "Trick or treat?" Static crackled, but his chuckle warmed. "Miss haunting with you." We talked hours, academy pranks, my art show entry. A bridge over distance. Winter solstice neared, snow blanketing Eldridge in hush. Christmas loomed, fraught with tinsel and tension. Jake's family hosted mass, his letter hinting distance. Dad's thawing. Asked about college plans, not cures. "Pray for us." Mine planned a quiet tree trimming. Ellie lobbying for rainbow ornaments, for all the colors. I baked cookies shaped like footballs, hearts hidden inside, mailing half to him. New Year's Eve, alone on the roof with fireworks popping distant. I toasted the stars. To unexpected beginnings. Resolution. Survive, thrive. For us. Spring equinox bloomed rebellion. Jake's academy break aligned with prom. Fate's wink. He petitioned for leave, parents' permission, a battle won. Coming home. His text read, emoji heart defiant. Prom night, gym aglow in disco haze. I waited in khakis and button-down, nerves electric. He arrived in civvies. Jeans faded, flannel soft. Slipping past stairs to claim my hand. Dance. Slow sway to Ed Sheeran. Whispers weaving vows. This is forever, but joy's fragile. Tommy resurfaced, crashing the after-party at Miller's Pond. Bonfire crackling. Sober now, tattoo sleeve fresh, he approached sheepish. Harper. Riley. About homecoming. I was an asshole. Jealous. Scared shitless myself. Confession tumbled. His own closet. A boyfriend lost to denial. Apology extended, hand out. We shook, wariness thawing to understanding. Water under the bridge, Jake said. Humanity's quiet wins. Graduation dawned golden. Caps sailing like prayers. Jake in audience, cheering loudest as Harper, Alexander echoed. Post-ceremony, under victory arches, he pulled me aside. Ohio State's got a visiting program. I applied. Future unfurled. Shared dorms. Shared dreams. Summer sealed it. Road trip in Dad's lone truck. Windows down, Springsteen blasting. Quarries revisited. Kisses under comets. Betrayal's echo? Faint scar. Testament to resilience. In America's weave. Small towns. Big hearts. We wove our thread. Unbreakable. College hit like a freight train. Ohio State's sprawling campus a labyrinth of Buckeye red and autumn crisp. Where I traded Eldridge's echo for Columbus's pulse. Move-in day. Dad's truck groaning under boxes. Ellie bouncing with college swag dreams. Jake arrived a week later. Academy discharge papers crisp. His duffel light but spirits heavy. They broke me down. Built me back, he said. Unpacking in our shoebox dorm. But stronger for this. Our first night. Bunk beds creaking. Hands linked across the gap. Felt like reclamation. Classes challenged. Intro to poli-sci with Professor Lang. A firebrand dissecting civil rights over coffee-stained syllabi. Jake majored in social work, drawn to case studies of at-risk youth. His notes laced with marginalia about safe harbors. We navigated freshman haze together. Tailgates where beer pong masked deeper thirsts, study sessions dissolving into tangled sheets. Chaste, but charged. Public affection, tentative. Pinky hooks in lecture halls, shoulders brushing on High Street. Pride flags fluttered from dorm windows, a balm to old wounds. But conflict brewed domestic. Jake's roommate, Brody. A lacrosse bro from Cincinnati. Eyed us sideways, his jokes landing like stray elbows. Roomie love, huh? Pass the lube. Laughter forced, but tension coiled. One night, post-midterms, Brody cornered Jake in the lounge. Look, man, it's cool you're, whatever, but keep it off my floor. Got a girl coming over. Jake's retort sharp. Our room, our rules. Fistfight averted, but rift widened. Brody's passive-aggressives. Our locked doors. Family visits amplified strains. Jake's parents helicoptered in for parents' weekend. Mom Riley clutching rosary beads. Dad's jaw set. Dinner at Schmidt's Sausage House, platter steaming, small talk mining pitfalls. Grades good. Pop Riley probed. Jake nodded. Then bolder. And Alex is my anchor here. Silence chewed, Mom's fork pausing. Family's family, Dad grunted finally. Eyes averted, a concession grudging. My folks fared warmer. Mom's hugs enveloping. Dad quizzing Jake on life plans over Buckeye donuts. But Ellie's visit cracked us open. Her awe at the shoebox, declaring it pirate cave. Over pizza, she grilled. When you getting married? Like in the movies. Blush tsunami, but Jake's grin steady. One adventure at a time, Captain. Betrayal struck sophomore spring. Insidious. Campus Queer Alliance hosted a panel. Coming out in the heartland. And we volunteered, Jake sharing locker room scars. Me the quarry goodbyes. Applause thundered, but viral clips surfaced on frat feeds. Edited snippets. Mocking voiceover. OSU's gay power couple. Pass the popcorn. Sender anonymous. But Brody's smirk in the dining hall screamed culprit. Confrontation exploded in the dorm. Jake bursting in. Phone clutched. He leaked it, Alex. For laughs. Brody lounged. Feigning innocence. Lighten up, it's comedy gold. Words escalated. Jake's betrayer. Brody's sensitive snowflake. Until RA intervened. Mediation mandated. Truth peeled layers. Brody's own bisexuality. Buried under bro code. Envy fueling sabotage. Scared it'd out me. He admitted, voice small. Forgiveness? Hard one. Jake extended grace. Hate the act, not the actor. Get help. Brody transferred, but seeds of empathy sprouted. We mentored incoming freshmen, turning pain to purpose. Summer internship pulled me to Columbus Legal Aid, drafting amicus briefs for LGBTQ+ foster reforms. Jake shadowed at a youth shelter, his linebacker frame gentle with runaways. Evenings, we'd collapse on our thrift store couch, dissecting days over ramen. Today's kid reminded me of us. He'd say, head on my lap, hiding in shadows. Love deepened, roots intertwining. Junior year, climax crested with homecoming scandal. OSU versus Michigan, the game, stadium fever pitch, 100K strong. We tailgate with GSA crew, face paint scarlet, but euphoria shattered halftime. Jumbotron glitch, looping our panel clip amid cheers. Boos rippled, counterchants rising. Love wins. But post-game, anonymous email to Dean. Distracting duo undermining team spirit. Investigation loomed, scholarships threatened. Panic clawed, nights sleepless, Jake pacing. They can't touch us for this. But fear echoed Eldridge. Loss, exile. Allies rallied, professors petitioning, student senate debating. I testified in hearing, voice steady. Love isn't distraction. It's drive. Jake beside, hand under table anchor. Verdict, cleared with campus-wide sensitivity training mandated. Victory Pyrrhic but empowering, our story catalyst. Winter break healed in Eldridge snow. Jake's family dinner. Turkey carved, tensions thawed. Pop Riley pulled him aside post-meal. Brought shame once, won't again. You're my boy. Tears, hugs, reconciliation's quiet roar. Ellie's bat mitzvah? Wait, no, her middle school play. Us front row, cheering her which cackle. My heroes, she whispered post-curtain, arms wide. Spring bloom brought proposals, not rings but futures. Jake aced practicum, I interned at HRC Columbus. Pride March, rain-slick streets. We marched hand in hand, rainbows aloft. Banner read, from lockers to liberation. Betrayal's ghost, vanquished, transmuted to fuel. In America's Academy, flawed, fierce, we forged onward. Love our syllabus. Postgrad haze settled like Buckeye pollen. Diplomas framed on fridge, job hunts a gauntlet of LinkedIn pings and coffee-fueled interviews. Jake landed first. Caseworker at Columbus Metro Youth Services. His office a converted closet stacked with file boxes and motivational sticky notes. Helping the invisible, he called it. Coming home with stories that both broke and mended. Teens couch surfing. Families fracturing under bias. I'd listen, feet in his lap, drafting cover letters for advocacy roles. Our tiny apartment a war room of resumes and takeout containers. My break came via Ohio Coalition for Equal Justice junior policy analyst, commuting via Coda bus to State House shadows. Mornings. Coffee black, Jake's kiss lingering like cologne. Evenings. Debates over stir-fry, his we need more shelters, my and legal shields. Synergy sparked. A joint project proposal for queer youth housing grants, submitted to council with trembling hands. But domestic bliss bred complacencies creep. Anniversaries marked with diner pancakes, not fanfare, third year. A quarry picnic redux, wildflowers in hand. Remember the rust? Jake teased, nuzzling. Tastes like victory now. Yet undercurrents stirred. His late shifts clashing my overtime. Texts terse. Stuck at case. Love you. Exhaustion eroded edges. Snapped words over dishes. Silences heavy as humid nights. Betrayal brewed from allies' guise. Enter Marcus, Jake's co-worker, charismatic MSW, rainbow pin on lapel, organizing shelter fundraisers with TED Talk flair. Group happy hours pulled us in. His laughs booming, stories of surviving conversion camp, bonding instant. You two are goals, he'd toast, eyes lingering on Jake a beat too long. Flattery warmed, but intuition prickled. Jake's flush, Marcus's accidental thigh brushes under tables. Climax detonated mid-fall, leaves flaming as tempers. I came home early, finding Jake's phone buzzing, Marcus. Last night was magic. When again? Context clawed. A networking bar crawl, Jake tipsy, confession spilling. No affair. Texts platonic on surface, but emotional bleed. You're my rock, man. Alex doesn't get the daily grind like you. Gut punch. Replacement in vulnerabilities arena. Confrontation stormed that eve, rain lashing windows. What's this? Phone thrust, voice steel masking hurt. Jake blanched, crumbling onto couch. Nothing physical, swear. Just, you're buried in briefs. I'm drowning in despair. Marcus listens. Tears carved. I feel invisible too. Raw peeled. My ambition's tunnel vision, his hero complex's toll. We're drifting, he whispered. Fixable. Night bled into dawn. Apologies airmailed via takeout and truths. Marcus, boundaries drawn, professional only. Therapy beckoned. Couple sessions with Dr. Patel. A no-nonsense South Asian gem unpacking codependence. Resentment's roots. Love's verb. She'd affirm. Homework. Date nights. Unplugged. Healing hummed through holidays. Thanksgiving at my folks'. Jake carving turkey with dad's old knife. Banter flowing like gravy. Ellie's home from OSU, regaling with dorm drama. My roommates by. Totally normal now. Jake's family Christmas. Tree twinkling. Mom Riley's pierogi steaming. Pop's quiet gift. A leather journal inscribed, for your stories, son. Winter's cusp. Our project greenlit. Council nod. Presser planned. Rehearsals in kitchen. Jake's poise shining. My nerves his steady. Launch day. Statehouse steps. Mike's hot. From hidden lockers to open doors. I opened. Jake tag teaming stats. Cameras clicked. Headlines hummed. Buckeye duo champions youth rights. Vindication sweet. Partnership reborn. Spring surged with side quests. Jake mentored a trans kid from the shelter. Story inspiring my op-ed in the Dispatch. Shadows to spotlights. Ellie visited, crashing our couch, demanding gay uncle stories. We complied. Edited for tween ears, locker hooks, quarry stars. Conflicts echo. Marcus faded. Lesson etched. Vigilance in verdant fields. Betrayal? Not fracture but forge stronger alloy. Summer solstice. Anniversary 4th. Road trip redux. This time west to Badlands. Horizons vast. Under prairie stars. Jake's voice soft. Marry me? Not today but someday. Ringless vow but binding. Fall rekindled routines. Deepened. Jake's promotion supervisor. Team building his forte. My bill co-sponsorship. Anti-discrimination housing. GSA alumni events pulled us back. Mentoring freshmen with It Gets Better. Because we make it. Winter's grip loosened to proposals real. Over New Year's champagne. Sparkling cider for irony. Jake knelt. Simple band glinting. Partners in crime, forever? Yes, blurred through tears, planning small courthouse. Then Eldridge reception. Betrayal's scar? Faint. Fuel for advocacy's fire. In America's evolving tapestry, our thread gleamed resilient, radiant. Wedding dawn broke golden over Cuyahoga banks. Courthouse steps swept with autumn leaves. Small circle gathered. Parents beaming tentative. Ellie flower girl fierce in docks and gown. Riley matron of honor with blue streaks tamed. Jake in slim navy suit. Tie crooked till I fixed it. His grin boyish under stubble. Vows exchanged crisp. From unexpected to eternal. Mine red. His, your shadow my light. Rings slid simple. Silver bands etched with eagle wings. Sealing promises amid cheers and confetti bursts. Honeymoon, budgeted bliss. Cabin in Hocking Hills, trails winding through old growth. Nights by fire pit roasting marshmallows like secrets. No grand gestures, just us. Hikes dissolving into lazy riverside reeds. Jake's head on my chest as Twain rambled. This is the dream, he murmured, fingers tracing my wrist. Idle interrupted by calls. Shelter crisis, bill amendment. But even that wove in, our rhythm synced. Back to grind. Marriage's mantle light but lifting. Jake's team expanded. His leadership lauded in evals. Empathy incarnate. I climbed to senior analyst. Testifying in hearings. Voice honed by love's rehearsals. Home? Upgraded to 2-bedroom in Clintonville. Walls hung with quarry photos and policy plaques. Kitchen herb garden Ellie's gift. For flavor in fights. Conflict crested subtle, year's end. Jake's burnout surfaced. Cases heavier. A teen's suicide attempt haunting. I can't save them all, he'd confess, collapsing post-shift. My plate overflowed too. Coalition merger stresses, late nights drafting. Snaps frayed. You're always working. And you're retreating. Echoes of sophomore drifts, but wisdom tempered. Dr. Patel reconvened. Tools sharpened. Boundaries, not walls. Resolution bloomed in vulnerability's garden. Jake joined a support group for caregivers, emerging lighter. I delegated, carving us time, Friday farmers markets, hands basket-laden with produce and peace. Betrayal? None overt, but past's whisper. Marcus's ghost in a conference panel. Apology proffered over coffee. Grew up, he said. Thanks to models like you. Grace extended. Chapter closed. Spring's thaw brought expansion dreams. Ellie, home post-frosh year, floated fostering. You'd be epic dads. Seed planted, germinating over brunches. Jake's eyes sparkling at baby name lists. My practicals on adoption paths. Consults with agencies, home studies navigated like policy puzzles. Rainbow families, we learned, face hoops thrice high, but persistence prevailed. Summer scorched with milestones. Our grant project scaled statewide. Ribbon cuttings in Toledo and Youngstown. Jake's speech stirring. Every kid deserves a locker room unafraid. Media buzzed. Power couple paves path. But we deflected to impact, shunning spotlights. Fall foliage framed family genesis. Placement call. 12-year-old Micah. Foster to adopt. Wide-eyed from group home shuffle. First meet at park. Swing set neutral. His guarded grin cracking at Jake's bad jokes. My soccer ball tricks. Homecoming chaotic. Bunk bed assembly. Pizza rituals but magic. Bedtime stories weaving our tales. Sanitized for sensitivity. Parenting's drama? Instant. Micah's nightmares. Schoolyard taunts echoing ours. Your dads are weird. Jake's patience saintly. Fielding questions with facts and hugs. Mine. Advocating at PDA. Turning tides. Ellie's anti-extraordinaire role cemented. Sleepovers lore building. Climax crested holidays. Micah's first Thanksgiving. Table groaning under Mom Harper's turkey. Pop Riley's sauerkraut. Toasts clinked. To found families. But undercurrent tugged. Micah's biomom surfacing. Visitation petition filed. Courtroom tension thick. Lawyer briefs my forte. But heartstrings yanked. Jake's hand anchor. He's ours, win or weave. Verdict wove hybrid. Supervised visits. Therapeutic. Painful grace. Micah's confusion navigated with counselors. Bonds bending not breaking. Betrayal's specter? In relinquishment's grief, but humanism prevailed. Compassion's circle widened, including her in holiday cards. Winter waned to renewal. Micah's adoption finalized spring equinox. Party pavilion under blooming dogwoods. Balloons buoyant, cake rainbow-tiered. Harper Riley, his new name signed with flourish. Tears collective, joy seismic. Years cascade. Micah thrives, soccer star, art whiz. Our stories his scaffold. Jake's directorship, my legislative push for foster reforms. Ellie weds, us walking her aisle. Grandkids? Distant dots, but dreamed. In America's mosaic, cracks gilded by grit, we stand. From locker shock to legacy love. Unexpected, utterly, human, profoundly, and in that redemption's quiet roar.